Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy DT3, man, and I'm back at you with another video, man. New media, notification, gang. God Squad. It's what it is, man. Look, check this out. Manny Pacquiao, Spence. Honestly, 50-50 fight. Spence should, in a sense, try to do his best to keep Manny Pacquiao on the back foot. He's a longer, rangier, more assertive. I wouldn't say the more aggressive fighter because Manny is always aggressive. He's always pressing forward, pressing forward, pressing forward. But what I think Errol should do or could do to make the fight go in his way, using his range, using his length, using more of his boxing prowess that he showed when he fought Mikey Garcia. If he fights that type of fight, he'll give Errol Spence problems. You know what I'm saying? If he goes in spurts as far as like when he goes on his full offensive attack. If he box a little bit and make Manny overly engage, overly commit, and he just shows really good ring generalship, meaning Errol Spence showing good ring generalship, I think he could really dictate the pace of the fight and give a good boxing lesson to Manny Pacquiao if he fights that way and if he's able to keep Manny Pacquiao off of him and fight that type of fight. I think Errol could get him. I think what will work against Errol is if he goes in there thinking that he finna bully little ass Manny Pacquiao. That's where I think he gonna get life fucked up. If he go in there and he box Manny the way that he boxed Mikey Garcia and put his punches together in spurts and he box a smart strategic fight like that, I think he get him. I think he'll get him. But if he tries to go in there and think I'm finna just out-muscle, I'm finna bully, walk through Manny Pacquiao, you got a whole nother thing coming, Errol. Because Manny is dangerous on the inside. And in order for Manny to have any real success, he has to fight you on the inside. So trying to walk through him, fighting in the trenches, it's not a fight you want to fight with Manny Pacquiao, Errol. You want to keep Manny on the outside. You want to keep him on the end of your punches. You want to make it to where Manny is chasing you throughout the fight. And he has to use his footwork, cutting the ring off, all that type of shit to get to you. If you could stop Manny from doing that, which is not easy to do, you could win that fight. But if you can't stop Manny from cutting that ring off, if you can't stop Manny from getting on the inside and going to work, Manny gonna get you. He gonna put you on your ass at least once, and he gonna win via unanimous decision. Or, depending on the judges, he might win via split. But at the same time, people don't have no problem with robbing Manny Pacquiao. But at the same time, I do feel if you let Manny dictate the pace of the fight and stand in the pocket and you try to bully Manny Pacquiao, which is going to be real hard to do, Manny going to get you. Number one, Manny is not an orthodox fighter. He is southpaw just like you. So certain angles that you so used to seeing, you're not going to see, Errol. It's something that a lot of people are not taking into consideration. A lot of the angles that Errol is used to having, fighting orthodox fighters, he's not going to have with Manny. He ain't going to have the angle and also pressure, being able to bully certain fighters. Like you couldn't bully Sean Porter. Couldn't bully him. You could bully Danny Garcia a little bit, but that's only because Danny was only looking to counter with 1 or 2 punches. If Danny would have kept his jab on you, and if he would have kept throwing the 1s and the 2s and mixing up his punches instead of just looking for that no-look left hook, fight would have been a lot more entertaining or a lot closer than what it was. But that didn't happen. Like I said, if you try to fight Manny Pacquiao on the inside too much, Manny gonna clip you. Man got too much experience, and honestly, Errol, I don't feel stylistically you bring anything to the table that Manny ain't seen before. So in order for you to beat Manny Pacquiao, you're going to have to do something different that Manny is not prepared for. Your length is not that big of a deal because Antonio Margarito was longer than him, had more range than him. But skill-wise, you better than Antonio Margarito. Oscar De La Hoya was longer, rangier, experienced. I don't think you better than Oscar De La Hoya in his heyday. I don't know. But my point is that Manny Pacquiao has already seen fighters that are longer and more rangier than him. Keith Thurman, boxer puncher, longer, more rangier than him. Yet and still, he found a way to get in on the inside. How will you be able to deal with Manny Pacquiao being really quick getting in? He's really explosive getting in and getting out. How are you going to deal with that? Manny is something to deal with. But like I said, if Errol can box the way that he boxed when he fought Mikey Garcia, now don't get me wrong, man, Mikey Garcia is no Manny Pacquiao. I ain't gonna let that get me fucked up. But I'm just saying the way that he fought Mikey Garcia is somewhere along the lines the way he should fight Manny Pacquiao. Because he do not want to be in the trenches with the Pac-Man. He want to keep the Pac-Man on the end of his punches, making the Pac-Man chase him, chase him, chase him, chase him. And if we always seeing is Pac-Man chasing him, chasing him, chasing him, well, obviously Earl winning the fight. And if Pac-Man is having issues getting in on the inside, getting off on a few punches, Earl Spence more likely going to win that fight. But can Earl constantly deal with Manny's pressure coming forward, coming forward, coming forward, cutting the ring off? And Manny can also throw that right hook off the back foot because he's good at throwing that right hook and angling off to the right side. Really good at that shit. So, Earl, you got a lot cut out for you in this Manny Pacquiao fight. I already feel that even if Manny Pacquiao don't win this fight, I do feel like career-wise, his record is better than Floyd's. Win, losses, draws. He got it all. He's fought everybody. Win, lose, draw. He's been knocked out. He's experienced everything that you could possibly experience in the sport of boxing. And yet and still, he's still active. So, in all honesty, real rap, Manny Pacquiao, record-wise career is better than Floyd. Now, if we looking for the prototypical career that you, if you are a parent and the career you want your son or your daughter to have, Floyd Mayweather. If you could have your son or your daughter go through 50 fights, be undefeated, take little to no damage, and make millions upon millions of hundreds of millions of dollars, that's the prototypical career you would want your child to have, right? It's just what it is. But if your kid were to tell you, I'm finna fight over 50 times, I'm finna get knocked out, I'm finna be in some wars, I'm finna be cut up, I'm gonna be bloodied, I'm gonna be bruised, I'm gonna be all types of fucked up, you're not gonna be so prone for your child to have that type of career. But this the hurt business, and fighters like that are legendary. And Manny Pacquiao right now, living legend, walking Hall of Famer, real rap. And I feel it's a 50-50 fight. I'm going with Manny Pacquiao, to be honest with you, because I want Manny to win. And I just don't see how Errol gonna deal with Manny pressure, because Manny not gonna take too many backward steps. So, and I think Manny sees something in Errol that he can exploit. That's another reason why he fighting him now. Because when we first brought Errol Spence to Manny Pacquiao's attention, it was all that shit, which we was thinking there's no indication that Manny Pacquiao finna fight Errol Spence. He probably gonna retire. But here we are, Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence coming up. Who you got? I'm going with Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao will edge out a split decision. I think Manny Pacquiao will put Errol Spence on his ass maybe once or twice. And I think that will be what edges him in the fight. But I would not be surprised. If Errol Spence stops Manny Pacquiao or if Errol Spence beats Manny Pacquiao. But regardless of that, regardless of the possibilities of that happening, I'm still going with Manny Pacquiao to edge out the W in this fight. I just think the experience, I don't think Errol Spence bringing anything stylistically, anything special, nothing that Manny Pacquiao has not seen before. So I really feel like he don't got nothing to separate himself from any opponent that Manny Pacquiao has ever faced. You know what I mean? He's faced punchers, he's faced raw boxer punchers. Manny has seen it all. The only thing I believe that Errol Spence has to his credit and to his advantage is his youth. And I think that may be what give him the edge. But aside from his youthfulness, he don't have the experience and he don't have the discipline. He don't have the IQ to deal with Manny Pacquiao. Just on paper and face value. Now it remains to be seen on fight night. My fight night might come and we might see Manny Pacquiao age. We might really see Manny Pacquiao show all of his 40 some odd years that night. Might happen. But what we are seeing right now and what we're under the impression of right now, Manny Pacquiao, he's still dangerous. He's still Manny Pacquiao. Don't sleep on him. He gonna surprise you motherfuckers just like he surprised a lot of people when he put Keith Thurman on his ass. 'Cause everybody thought Manny Pacquiao was gonna get his ass beat by Keith Thurman. And then we woke the fuck up. Because Manny Pacquiao beat the shit out of Keith Thurman. A 41-year-old Manny Pacquiao beat the shit out of Keith Thurman. So we don't know how much Manny got left in the tank, but we know he got enough. And quiet as kept, Manny can win this fight. And Manny is record-wise is still better career-wise than Floyd Mayweather. Wins, losses, and draws. Period. Point blank. Who you got?